Hey, we're going to finish up the second part of the 7-3. This part is the multiplying and dividing, so good stuff. All right, so looking at the example for your notes, multiply 2 plus 4 root 3 times the expression 1 minus 5 root 3. So we're going to use our foiling technique here. And we have the 2 times 1, our firsts. So 2 times 1 is 2. The outsides, 2 times negative 5 root 3. So that's going to be negative, and remember the outside stuff? I know, really technical. But 2 times 5 is 10, so we have negative 10 root 3. The inside terms, so 4 root 3 times 1, anything times 1 is just itself, so plus 4 root 3. And then finally, the last terms, we have positive 4 root 3 times negative 5 root 3. 4 times negative 5 is negative 20, because those are the outside stuff. Root 3 times root 3, we are going to go ahead and write it like that. So hopefully now you see that that's a pair of 3's, or you could say it's a square root of 9, either way. So this will give you a 3. So now we have 2 and then minus 10 root 3 plus 4 root 3. Remember, they have to have the same radical, has to be the same root and the same number underneath in order to add them or subtract them. And you treat the number outside, the outside stuff, like coefficients. It's not, but that's what we treat it like. So negative 10 plus 4 is going to give us negative 6 root 3. And then we have negative 20, or minus 20 times 3. 20 times 3 is 60, so we're going to put that in. 2 minus 60 is going to give us negative 58. Negative 58 minus 6 root 3. Now this is your final answer because you do write it in the form of the constant and then the irrational term. Okay, so moving along to the next one, multiplying conjugates. Okay, this is not the first time we've seen conjugates, and hopefully you remember them. A conjugate is just, or maybe I'm confusing you with another class. Who knows at this point in time, right? Okay, so a conjugate is when we have the same terms but a different sign. And it has been your class, it was last chapter. Okay, so still doing, I'm going to show you the FOIL method, but then I'm going to tell you the shortcut as well. So we've got 3 times 3, the first terms, which is 9. Outside terms, 3 times negative root 7, so that's negative 3 root 7. Inside terms, 3 times root 7, that's positive 3 root 7. Last terms, root 7 times negative root 7 is going to give us negative root 7 times 7. We have that pair, square root of 49. We know that this then gives us just a 7. The negative 3 root 7 and the positive 3 root 7, they cancel out. Yay! So now we have 9 minus 7, which is 2. Okay, so if we take a look at this in an alternate method, so we have 3 plus root 7, 3 minus root 7. Okay, ultimately, the reason we want to eliminate the radicals is so that this is a nice clean number, and the conjugates help us do that. So we know that if it's the same term, but it's a difference of signs, difference of squares, so it's the first term squared, 9, and your second term squared, which in this case will be just a 7, and it's always the difference, 9 minus 7, which is 2. Awesome. Okay, now we just need to look at number 6, in example 6, if I'm not mistaken. Well, for heaven's sakes, there is the rationalizing the denominator using that conjugate information that we've just learned. Okay, so to rationalize this denominator, we investigate, we look at the denominator. We want to multiply this term by the conjugate of the denominator over the conjugate of the denominator. All right, so going over here, give us room. 2 minus root 3 all over 4 plus root 3. These do not simplify, cancel out, or anything like that because these are expressions and they have imaginary parentheses around them. You cannot just cancel those out. Okay. So now multiplying that by its conjugate, we have 4. We did have plus, so now we need to have minus, and then we have root 3. What we have in the bottom, we also have to have up top. So that will also be 4 minus root 3. Okay, so in the numerator, 2 times 4 is going to give us 8. Outside, 2 times negative root 3, so negative 2 root 3. Inside terms, negative root 3 times 4, so negative 4 root 3. Again, 4 is outside, that 3 is inside. Inside stuff stays together, outside stuff stays together. Love those technical terms, huh? And then finally, the last terms, negative root 3 times negative root 3. So negative times the negative is positive, and then we have root 3 times root 3. That's kind of sloppy, so I should make it just a little bit bigger. Okay, now down in the denominator, remember with multiplying conjugates, it's just a difference of squares. So it's the first term squared, so that would be 4 squared, minus your second term squared, and that would be the square root of 3 squared. All right, let's clean house. We can simplify these middle terms in the numerator because they both have square root of 3. Negative 2 root 3 minus 4 root 3 is going to give us negative 6 root 3. The square root of 3 times 3 times 3 is 9, or we have a pair of 3's, and the square root of a pair is just the number itself. 4 squared is 16. Root 3 squared, the square root and the square cancel each other out, so now we have 3. All right, so 8, just going to write it all down because it's starting to get messy. 8 minus 6 root 3 plus 3 all over 16 minus 3. This leaves us with 8 plus 3 is 11 minus 6 root 3 all over 16 minus 3 is 13. All right, pretty sure that that is the last example from this section. So hopefully that's good. You guys have got it figured out. If you have any questions, just let me know. Have an awesome day. If I could figure it out, huh?